Hi, Roger.
Excellent, excellent. So my name is Roger, and this is Natasha, and today's topic is going to be around resilience. Okay, and what resilience? Because I know Natasha has gone through a lot in her life, and we are going to find out how she's turned her life around, and how she managed to get where she is now. But before anything else, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, guys. Without further ado, we just start now. Okay, so Natasha, now I know we we are on the same course, which is the UK Tour Speaker Challenge. Okay,
Yes.
in public speaking, and now we decided to meet once a week on Zoom because obviously with the coronavirus we cannot do it otherwise. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's one way to keep our mind focused. Okay,
Right.
so Natasha, I know that before you, I remember when I spoke to you the first time you mentioned in one of your speeches that you've been homeless at some point.
Yes. When I was 16, I was thrown out on the street, and I lived in the park in London for about 6 weeks. I then went to stay with a friend after meeting her on the street. So yes, from that I was able to sort of get myself together.
So when you met your friend on the street, have you managed to split out friends' houses sometimes, like, or were you still on the streets at the time?
No, when I met my friend, what I was actually doing, I was looking for somewhere to wash in the fountains
Oh yes.
in London, in the London parks. So she came up to me and she said, Natasha. I said, oh yeah, hi Lynette. She said, you look terrible. What's happening? Oh, I said, I've been living out here for about 6 weeks. So she said, oh, I'm staying with a lady, and I'm going to ask her if you can stay. So we chatted all the way there, and fortunately the lady allowed me to stay in her house. So because I didn't have any money, what I used to do is take her children to school, um, look after the house, all sorts, anything she wanted me to do, I just did it because I just didn't have any money, basically. So yeah.
Well, okay, and how long have you been homeless for in your life?
Yeah, I was homeless, well, I would say for about a year, because after that I went into a hostel. So you're still classed as homeless because you haven't got a permanent place to stay. So I went to stay in a hostel for nearly a year, about 9 months, and then I got myself a flat in London.
Oh, so that was and how did you manage to get that flat in London? Did they help you to find it, or?
Yeah, so when I was in the hostel, they helped me with life skills. I didn't really need them because I knew how to cook and clean and look after myself anyway, because I've got younger siblings, quite a lot, 7 siblings younger than myself that I had to look after. So I was able to then demonstrate that I was able to live independently. So then I got a flat through the council.
Oh, fantastic. And after that, how did you, because I know you've trained yourself in different areas, and so what was the turning point really when you turned your life around? What happened? What was that?
Well, the thing is that, I mean, there's been several turning points in my life because there's been ups and downs, to be honest. But I started shortly after getting a flat at 16, I went on to a YTS scheme, and I was working in a solicitor's firm. So I remember I helped him to get, specialise in an area, immigration, because he wasn't doing very well in business. That's why he had us YT staff. And he wasn't doing very well, so I spotted a gap in the market. So he had 3 immigration solicitors, and the other 2 were matrimonial solicitors. So I started getting him clients within the immigration sector.
Oh yes.
And then we managed to build that business to quite a successful business. He started turning over something over 1 million in 1 year.
Wow,
So,
that's
and I was promoted within 4 months, basically, to head secretary. I was organising everything within the organisation. And then someone came in. I said to him, Matthew, I think you need somebody to put a database in place so that you can keep all your client records. So someone came in, installed the database, installed a network of computers. So I started looking at what this guy was doing. So I said to him, "Oh, how did you get into this?" Started questioning him, and I think what it was, a couple of weeks later, I started reading books about networking and started my own business within 4 weeks, installing networks in various organizations, basically. So then at 17, I started my own business doing that, and I did that for about 10 years.
Wow. So when you say network, at 17, network, what do you mean by that? Can you clarify for me?
Yeah, so the thing is that I used to work with Cisco networking, Microsoft networks, basically. So you'd have to design a network to go into an organization, so that at the time it was that if you had a computer in one room, that computer could talk to the other computer.
Oh, yeah.
So you would wire everything together, not like nowadays you've got Wi-Fi. So you would wire everything together so that each computer could store the information. There was a central point, basically. So just basically IT stuff.
Oh, well, IT stuff, yeah. Après donner de degré, this. Yeah. No, but that's fantastic. And now, what are you currently doing?
Well, for the last 15 years, I've been a surveyor, and I run a surveying practice in Birmingham. So I serve residential clients, doing home buyer reports, building surveys, and valuations for any sort of home buyer, basically, and investors.
Right. How's the pandemic, the coronavirus, is it affecting your business in any way?
Of course it is. Of course it is, Roger.
Yeah.
Everything stopped. So the thing is that we can't do anything. We can't go out. Everyone has stopped moving. Everyone has stopped valuations. Everyone's panicking, so yeah, nobody can move, nobody can get a survey done, can't do anything really. Right. So we've all had to just sit at home and just wait it out. So once the economy's back up and running, I'm sure they're going to get us out to get them moving again. So yeah.
Right. And at the moment, I mean, and I know, I mean, obviously everybody is affected, yeah. But do you still manage to do some work with regards to your business at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing little tiny bits. Like, for instance, I had a client call me the other day. I was quite surprised, actually. He's doing a renovation on a property that he recently purchased. So I'll go out and have a look at those sorts of things to see if he's doing the work properly. I was quite surprised about that one. Sometime next week, I will be doing one survey when we normally do about 25 a week or something. So we've got one, to do.
Yeah. So from 25 it's going down to one. So it's
yeah.
And then And then what would you say is your main quality to be able to run all this business?
Well, I think my main quality is resilience, just the ability to bounce back from any sort of situations. I know I told you about the homeless situation, then going into the solicitors and then starting my own business. But there are a lot of things that I've gone through, and I've always had the ability to bounce back. Like, for instance, about 15 years ago, when I went back into studying, I was getting divorced, and my ex-husband was taking me to court and all sorts, and I was doing a degree at the same time, and I had to manage 5 children. So the thing is that I managed to get through all of that to then, start my company, do education, my master's degree, PhD, and things like that. So you have to keep focused, basically. So
yeah. So I didn't know. I didn't realize you had a PhD. I knew you had some kind of master degrees or something. I didn't know about the PhD. Yeah, yeah. But that's. But you also have another project in mind, haven't you?
Yes. Well, the thing is that the purpose of attending the Speak Up course basically is to help people with setting goals, building resilience in business and in life in general, basically. So at the moment, I'm trying to set up a website called Lofty Goals. It's about those sort of people that want to start in business or have a business, and they want to develop that resilience. They want to set goals to move them forward in business and in life.
Well, but that's fantastic. Yeah, and then.
Thank you, Roger.
No, but I think that's great. Yeah, and to be honest, yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, and then so maybe you can help me with my own goals. Then, yeah, I'll go on your course.
But you need to focus, Roger. Oh,
yeah.
dear.
No, you're right about focusing, and I'm at the moment I'm also on this Pick Up Challenge course. Yeah, and then my own battle is to clarify things. And you know, that's been a massive challenge for me to be able to clarify what I want to do. Yeah. And then actually today somebody mentioned, because my the leadership speech that I'm preparing for this course, and then somebody mentioned, well, at least you persevere with it.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, that is a quality of yours. Although I do say that you're quite funny. You've got such a sense of humour, Roger. But you do persevere, and it's fantastic, really. And I think in life, if you don't persevere, you don't achieve, basically. So you will achieve great things because of your perseverance. So
so that could be one of the tips we could give people out there: just persevere in what you're doing. Don't give up halfway, because like today I've written a few things down, and even though my speech was not really prepared for the practice session today, I was surprised. I decided to go first. I didn't want everybody else to go before me. So another 6 with including George, but 5 of us. So I said, no, I'll go. So everybody put from number 2 to number 4. And then Josh said, what do you want to go? Number 1 or number 5? No, I'll go number 1, please.
Yeah.
And then, so I did this straight away. And it was just as well, because when I decided to do it straight away, I had the energy. And to be honest, I had no idea where to start. I had some notes there.
Yeah.
And then this is where perhaps the conversation, I do it like as I'm speaking to you now. I just speak to somebody, and there's somebody in the audience said to me, when we do the feedback, that is as if I am speaking one-to-one. And I think probably that's a strength I've developed through the course.
Yeah.
I feel more natural. It's easier for me to do it that way than having notes on card, because when I have notes on card, my brain goes, what's up? And then I forget the audience. Yeah. But perseverance. I think you're right. It's a good quality of mine. I don't like giving up halfway, because it's like when I moved from the speech number 1 to speech number 2, it took me, I don't know, months to actually that's it. That's speech number 2. That's the way I need to do it. And about overcoming cultural differences between France and the UK. Speech number 2. Okay, so we're both resilient. We know that, and then I mean you're quite an example to a lot of people, because from being homeless to being a surveyor, it's quite something. And so what can we tell people out there? Because I know with the pandemic it's not easy. Most of the planet is in lockdown. we got to stay at home. When we go out, we got to be very careful. Yeah. I am certainly very careful. I don't go out of my house very often. And but we still have to go out. We're not born to just be
closed off in locked
no.
away, basically.
Yeah, we're not born for that. Now and a lot of people find it difficult. I mean, including myself. I cannot pretend it's easy. Yeah, but I think one of the ways to come through this is perhaps to learn new skills, like I mentioned when I was talking to April. Learn new skill, maybe establish yourself a routine, and do something new for when because the country is not going to be in lockdown forever because they can't afford it.
Yeah,
it's impossible. So at some point they'll have to come out, whether the coronavirus is in control or not. But I think it's starting to be in control. Some countries are finding ways to reduce the number because the care is improving and all that in different ways, even though there might not be a vaccine yet, it's still improving. And they don't mention it very often, but over 1 million people have survived it. When they were in hospital, and probably more than that, because a lot of people who are not counting in the statistics don't go to hospital, they just come out of it.
That's true.
So 1 million come out of it, which is good news. But I can understand why they don't mention it too often. It's because people might feel too relaxed then and start breaking the rules, and it's start spreading again. So but they'll have to find a way, because obviously I don't think there is any country in the world that can afford to stay like that for another 2 years, let's say.
I think in terms of myself, Roger, it's about staying mindful, basically, trying to enjoy the moment. The other thing is reaching out to people who are available via phone, via Zoom, just keeping in contact with friends and family as often as possible, to keep your spirits up, and like you say, learning a new skill, just having a meaning and purpose, because we know that this is only a temporary situation. I think when I was growing up, that was one of the things I'd always say to myself, that number one is a temporary situation, and number two, things are going to get better. So when you start looking at things in that sort of way, you start to then think, I have got meaning and purpose, I've got future, but let me enjoy this moment as much as I can, basically, and surround yourself with some good people.
But you're
virtually. Virtually at the moment.
But it's interesting what you're saying, because I'm practically going on Zoom more or less every day these days, and and then I've met on a Tuesday morning, for example, one of ours, Malcolm Charlo, he organizes like one at 11 o'clock and one at 5. The one at 5 because he's got some American friends, so they can join. And it's just a social one, nothing to do with business or anything like that, just social. And I've been talking to a couple of people on this Zoom that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And then we decided when this is over, we will meet in real life.
That's excellent.
So I think that's great. And that I am also on a different course with the International Coaching Academy with John Haynes. And I used to go there every Monday or Tuesday, depending, from 5 until 9, 8:30 or 9 o'clock on this coaching course, which I think is fabulous. And there is a great bunch of people going on that. Now we meet on Zoom, but actually what's happened with the Zoom is and it's very good at that as well, John, and so is Maria Dorota Kompanowski to get people together more. So I had the chat interview like I am with you, with Natalie, who's from the ICA, the International Coaching Academy. And then she said to me, she sent me a message, I'm glad you invited me on that chat because I came out of my comfort zone. And I replied to that, and I said, if we had carried on in the normal way, going to Liverpool on a Monday and Tuesday, I don't think we would have had that chat. Because at the end of the evening, people go their own ways. Because we are in a situation where we need to connect. People are, some part of society have managed somehow to get closer
Yes, indeed. Yeah, yeah.
to the. So I hope we
Because
can. Yeah. So that's a positive thing.
oh, sorry,
It's all.
sorry, Roger.
It's no problem.
No, because we realise that we do need that human connection. I mean, the thing is that we're all going to work, connecting with people, leaving, and then not really seeing the importance of that connection. But now I feel that we actually are recognising how much we need other people. So I'm sure some people are more connected via technology these days, but we're not so much playing our games and mindlessly doing certain things. We're more conscious of what is actually going on in our lives now. So I think this is a good thing for some people in terms of resetting, you know, and rejuvenating and reconnecting relationships
Yeah.
all over the world, you know. So yeah.
I totally agree. We need people. We cannot just live in a cave.
Yeah, of course.
I might be a caveman soon with my hair growing.
I've had to cut my own hair. That's why it's all different lengths. You know.
If you got a wig, if you could send it to me, maybe I put it on and. So
Yeah.
so. But that's one of the tips we are going to give you. You can still wear a wig if you want to. But okay, so we need a good laugh in life as well. We cannot just
Indeed.
Yeah.
We always need
So,
yeah, as well as optimism, we need to have a good sense of humour. Yeah, so yeah.
okay, so right, okay, so we're coming to the end of this chat, of this chit chat, as it were. Yeah. So guys, don't forget, please subscribe.
Okay. Yeah.
And, so. So Natasha, sometimes I call you Natalie for some reason.
Yeah, I get it all the time, Roger. All the time. A lot of people call me Natalie. I think it's a preferred name or something.
Oh, so maybe next week I might become Peter.
Or even Pierre. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So in terms of resilience, okay, what are the 3 tips you give people out there to use in their life if they want to?
Right. My 3 tips are stay connected, always have a goal, and optimism. I think really stay positive, stay in that moment, stay
connected.
With mindfulness, basically, to enjoy the moment. I know that's more than 3, Roger, but
that's okay. Yeah,
that's my tip.
We'll have a bonus. Yeah, we'll have a bonus. So
yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
Stay connected, optimism.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Connected, optimism, focused.
Focused. Always stay focused. Stay mindful. Stay in the moment. Basically, enjoy the moment. That's
enjoy the moment. Yeah. Okay, so that's the best we can do at the moment, guys. So bye for now. Enjoy the moment. And yes, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Oh dear.
No, we have to go. Hang on.